For the final time in 2025, Season 4 of Rallycross Championship comes to a close tonight at Round 5 at Westhill Rallycross. We finished here last season in 2023, and we're back tonight to wrap it up here again. The championship, however, has already been decided. That goes the way of Sindra Silva, who has 80 points so far and is theoretically or mathematically the champion. No one else can beat him tonight. Martin Palm currently in second place, and it's game on. Robin Nilsson is in P3 and could take P2 away from Martin if either of them show up. Otherwise, Victor Israel stands the best chance of taking P2 in the championship, and then we've got Tim Dicknotter also in the battle too. In fact, I think we have Victor Israel's in the server, so he can definitely challenge for P2 overall, as well as Tim. Then we've got Dan Lundqvist, Rasmus Lindberg, Robin Johansson, Timu Sarkin, and Michael Malik, your top 10 overall in the championship. But yes, Sindra Silva has already done the deed and has won the 4th season of the Master Race Car Rallycross Championship, and he did that with 1 round to go. He is here tonight, sporting a golden championship livery, so he gets the opportunity to wear that lovely livery in his sort of victory parade. And it's nice for him to come here for the final round 2, the 1.6 kilometre, 1 mile Westhill MRc Rallycross track here at Westhill. And tonight we're going to have 4 lap heat races and a 5 lap final. And all of the racers must complete 1 joker lap every single time they go out on the track for a race. So same as all season long. And currently, it looks like we have around about 8 drivers on the server, potentially 9, who are going to be providing us with the racing action this evening. And yeah, one final time this year, let's look at the mods that the drivers are going to be choosing between. And we have seen, a lot of action from these cars so far in the championship, and we've still got 20% of it to go tonight. And yeah, we're very thankful to Tim Dicknotter and Robin Nilsson for putting together the mods, along with obviously the people who have collaborated on these mods as well. Without these, we wouldn't have such an interesting championship. So thanks very much, everyone. And hopefully we'll see them used elsewhere in the speed while the season has its sort of break once we're done with it after tonight. The drivers have just finished their pre-warm-up, so that has been completed. And we do have, I think we've got 9 drivers awaiting the start. So we're looking to have 2 races per heat, and that will mean that tonight we should have, how many is that going to be? That's going to be 8 races in total, if my maths is correct. So short and snappy event tonight, but that is fine to bring the season to a close once again. And what a season it's been, in collaboration with New Dimension Racing, of course. They have provided all the background work for the Rally Control InSim program that we use to get the grids set up, the standings compiled, and all the graphics that you see here, essentially powered by New Dimension Racing. So thanks to them for all of that. And yeah, we are just waiting patiently for the start of the race. In the meantime, I'm going to do a couple of housewarming announcements, because tomorrow on our channel we have got more rally action happening at Rockingham in the XRT for round 2 of the Zafiralis All-Rounder Championship. That'll be live on our channel at 10 to 7 UTC tomorrow, followed by RTFR on Tuesday for Rockingham International Long with the FXO for the 351st RTFR, sponsored by World Class Lions. And then on Sunday, Master Race Car are back with the challenge. Mexico City E-Prix circuit is going to be live here on Sunday, the 9th of February at 5:45 UTC. And you can sign up for that on the Live for Speed forum right now. The sign-ups are still open for that. You have a week left to register, and we are very excited to get the ball rolling it for another MRC series, wrapping up one weekend and continuing immediately the next weekend. Get your sign-ups ready for that right now. So yeah, the clock has ticked to 7:30, and we are awaiting the grids for the first heat, which I can bring to you right now. That's going to be between Christian Skorlid Skorils, which is a new driver tonight. I've seen Christian here before. Then we've got Gabba, also a new driver tonight, although should be known to quite a few other people among us. Then we've got Sufor, or Gerard Fornles, and Champs, and just Silver there, starting at the back of Heat 1. And Heat 1 Race 2 will be between Teemu Sarkkinen and Victor Israels, Tim Dicknodder and Nuno Cardozo this evening. So those are the heat grids for Heat number 1. And I think we're pretty much ready to go. The drivers are still doing some warm-up in the background, but this first heat is going to be quite interesting. We've got Sufor there in the number 3 slot, who's been pretty good all season long. He's going to get to flex his muscles against Sindra Silva, and Gabba, who hasn't raced at all this season so far, choosing tonight to start his campaign. And we'll see how he fares against Sindra Silva, who until now has not really put a foot wrong. He's won every single round, a clean sweep, as they say. So we will wait in earnest to see what happens there. So and also a new driver, Christian. We don't know really what he's going to be like either, but we'll find out pretty soon. The second race is more of a known quantity, with drivers who raced each other all season long, but fairly evenly matched. Not really a clear winner in that second race at all. Could probably go the way of Tim Dicknodder, considering he is highest placed in the championship of those 4 drivers. We'll take a quick break then as we wait for race number 1 to get going. We're ready to go here, so we're going to set the action off and running, and for our first heat race. And we're away. Straight over the first jump, and we've already got cars sideways. That's Gabba there in the yellow and black, and already a retirement for Sufor. Not happy with how the start of that race went. Oh no, he had no fuel in the car, so he still had qualifying fuel on. So a bit of a blunder that at the very beginning of the evening for Sufor, as it's Christian curled into the lead then, with Sindra Silva in that gold and black champion livery, taking over the lead, with Gabba trying to find his foot in this race. But it's Silva leading, then Christian, and then Gabba, as they all do the Joker on the first lap, getting that out of the way straight away. So now it's just a straight shoot for the finish. Cross start finish. There you go. And straight into lap 2, but I don't really know who's going to be able to catch up with Sindra. Already stretched a 1.1 second gap in the first lap. So unless he's made a mistake, unless he makes a mistake rather, that is it. Gabba has retired and actually has left the server, so I think that's it. I think that's him done for the evening. Not happy with his pace, I think. So just 2 drivers left in this heat then. As we're on to the final lap then. It's a 58.49 by Sindra Silva. And a 2.5 second lead over Christian Skorrelt here. Christian also driving for Sindra Silva Motorsports, so both these drivers essentially in the same team. But it is our champion who leads. And remember, it's all about the best race time, so Sindra's had it pretty clean here. And will, of course, go straight to the top of our leaderboard, having completed the first race now. Up to start finish, across the line to win. And we think that Sufor may get a chance to race in the next heat, even though his retirement was pretty much his own fault. But because of that fuel issue, he will be able to restart. So the results of that heat then, after 2 DNFs, Silva and Skorrelt. As we gear up ready for our next heat race. And that's currently predicted to be between Teemu Sarkkinen, Victor Israel's Tim Dicknotta and Nuno Cardozo, though we're waiting to see whether Gerard Fornelez will be allowed to start this one instead. Tim Dicknotta there in the background warming up for his heat race here. Gerard hasn't been given an answer about whether he can start this race yet. Race control just ironing out a few questions in the server. But we should be going for the start of race 2 very, very soon. Nuno Cardozo also warming up in the background here. These drivers been giving a lot of time. And it doesn't look like Sufor is going to be allowed to start this one. So we are going to have the 4 cars as they were announced. And there they all are for the start of the second race of the evening. 3 quick fire laps. And it's Teemu Sarkkinen on the inside for the first hairpin. Victor Israel's in the blue and black. Tim Dicknotta in the black and white. And Cardozo at the back there with the Portuguese flag on the roof, as he has had all season long. And it's Teemu Sarkkinen into the lead then out of the first corner, with Victor Israel's chasing him down and trying to get alongside into this first chicane. Everybody took the Joker lap on the first lap, the last race, and it's Victor who kind of decides quite late to take the Joker. Tim Dicknotta got a great braking and managed to get through around the outside into the Joker. So Victor with a bit of egg on his face after that one, but it's Teemu Sarkkinen still who leads, with Nuno Cardozo just behind. And I think Victor Israel has cost himself a bit of time with that one, as Tim was quite a way back going into the Joker, and he had an absolutely brilliant run the previous corner. As Sarkkinen comes across the line now to start lap 2. Cardozo quickly follows him. And it's an interesting line through the first corner for Sarkkinen, very wide, taking a later apex. And, well, Cardozo seems to be being left in his dust at the moment, as Sarkkinen opens up a 1.5 second lead. And in the background, you've got that close fight between Ducnodder and Victor Israels. Tim's brother Jelle not competing this evening, as Cardozo goes into the Joker, and we'll see where he comes out. Oh, he's going to come out way behind both of these guys. So Teemu Sarkkinen really needs to start pedaling. Here is Sarkkinen, as Cardozo drops to the back, and Tim is actually stretching a little bit of an advantage over the Silver Motorsports car there. The number 99 of Victor Israels. And onto the final lap comes Teemu Sarkkinen then. Needs to be clean, and he needs to do the Joker, so he doesn't have a choice now. And it's a better line this time around the first corner. And Tim really is pushing a lot here. He's already opened up a 2-second gap over Victor. But let's see if he's got the pace to take the win in race number 2. Sarkkinen will be into the Joker. There he goes. And Tim is going to be through, and he's got it. Tim's got Sarkkinen. Has Victor Israels managed to get through? No, he hasn't. So Sarkkinen currently P2, and well, a little bit wide at the apex there. Gives Victor a little bit of hope, but it's not going to be enough. I think that Teemu Sarkkinen will have that wrapped up, but it's Tim Ducnodder with a brilliant move into the lead. Great pace after doing his Joker, and Sarkkinen would have been a bit surprised by that. He wouldn't have been able to necessarily see him in his mirror, and well, across the line, deservedly so, a win in race 1 for Tim Ducnodder, or rather in his first heat race, followed by Sarkkinen, Israels and Cardozo. Here we've got the results of the second race, a 3-minute 4.02 for Tim Ducnodder, 1.5 seconds back to Sarkkinen, 2 seconds back to Israel, and 5 seconds nearly back to Cardozo. But that was a pretty fast heat. Here are the results then of the first heat, and it's Tim Ducnodder who takes the win by 1.3 seconds over Sindra Silva. So an impressive run there for Tim, and he currently leads the standings in this final round. Sindra P2, Teemu Sarkkinen, Victor Israels, Christian Scrolls, Nuno Cardozo there, and everybody else DNF. So really we only have 6 competitors on our heat board this evening as we head straight into heat 2. And here is our grid. Gerald, Cardozo and Forneless. It's Christian Scroll who leads down to the chicane, followed by Gerald Forneless and Cardozo. And Cardozo, whoa, I don't know if he decided very, very late not to do the Joker, but it seemed like he compromised himself quite a bit there, as Scroll and Forneless both go into the Joker. Gerald out in the lead. And we saw in the previous race that you need quite a large lead in order to keep your place from the drivers that go into the Joker. And I don't know if Cardozo is doing enough at the moment. 3.5 seconds. He'll need to open the gap up quite a bit more if he wants to take over the lead in this race. But currently it's 2 for 2 for Scorreld, who won his first heat race. And looks to be well set to win his second as well. Forneless, has had a troubled season, really. Thought it was going to be quite a competitive one for him, as actually comes alongside Cardozo. There is contact, and Cardozo has managed to get a slight jump as Fornelez doesn't tap him once, doesn't tap him twice, taps him 3 times at the apex. All 3 drivers have done their joker now then, as we come up to the start-finish. And on to the final lap for Squirrels, who registers the fastest lap. And Fornelez very wide there. And he's going to make this final lap very difficult for himself. Giving himself a huge uphill battle to get back into this one. And at the moment it looks like Squirrels is doing everything he needs to do. Just needs to hope that it's a fast-paced race. Cardozo with a big slide there. But into the final couple of corners for our drivers here. And it looks like it's going to be a close finish by the looks of it. Squirrel's actually been caught up quite a bit here. But in the end, out of the final corner, just one jump to go. And it's Squirrels who leads. Oh, but Cardozo there, really into the wall. And he's going to get tagged again by Fornelez. That was really silly, but across the line comes Squirrels. We're going to see who's going to come across the line next, but really Fornelez should... I'm not quite sure what he did there. Bundled into the back of Cardozo. Not once, but twice. And, well, somehow finishes second. The first time's forgivable because Cardozo went into the wall. But, yeah, disqualified for the second hit, I think, for Gerard Fornelez there. So a little bit silly from Fornelez. And that will get him disqualified from that race. But Squirrels, decent heat time of 3 minutes 7, not the fastest we've seen tonight. And then I guess Cardozo will be registered as finishing second. And here we go then for the next race. The final race of Heat 2 between Tim Ducknodder, Sindra Silva, Timu Sarkinen and Victor Israels, and we are green. And it's a very even start. Nothing to choose between them at all. As Tim has a great run through the first apex. Victor goes from the outside to the very inside. Oh, and there's side-to-side contact, and Timu Sarkinen is going to get held up hugely there. But it's a dream start for Tim Ducknodder, who now has to hold off Sindra Silva for 3 laps, which is a super difficult thing to do. But we'll see. Victor and Timu are pretty much out of this then. Victor's so far back, he's got a mountain to climb. As Tim's done the joker, Silva stays out, Sarkinen does the joker, Victor does the joker. So just Sindra will have to go. And I wonder what the mindset is for Sindra Silva now. I mean, Tim, he knows exactly what he's got to do. He's got to do 3 or 2.5 perfect laps. Sindra still has to do that joker, and we know how the advantage of being on the track sometimes can help. As lap 1 comes to a close, here comes Tim, and the gap is just up by 1/10 of a second. So Silva's stretched that advantage ever so slightly, and let's see what happens. It's not enough at the moment. Sindra will be behind Tim if he does the joker now, almost certainly. So maybe one more lap just to give himself the best chance. No, he's gone into the joker early on my watch. Let's see if Tim has got it easily. So yeah, Sindra came into the joker earlier than I would have expected. He's going to have to do the battle on the track now. And that's everybody through the extra joker corner, and a straight fight at the front between numbers 1 and 2 in the championship, but not in that order. Number 2 leading number 1. And let's see if Tim Ducknodder can deny Sindra a heat win, which will be the first time this season that has happened. And at the moment, Tim is doing a very nice job. The gap's 0.7 of a second, and with the fastest lap, I don't think Sindra can catch him. Unless Tim makes some sort of error. Oh, but Silva tags the wall, and that's surely it. He clipped the barrier, and if he's not careful, he's going to get caught by Sarkinen as well. So Sindra unraveling here in Heat 2, and Tim Ducknotter can breathe a sigh of relief and start to celebrate a clean victory over Sindra, which has been a long time coming this year. But he's managed to do it now, as over the jump comes Silva, Sarkinen, and Israels. But Tim is already coming to the final jump. Just one clean jump to go, and victory is his in Heat 2. And let's see what the race time is as well. This looked very, 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 very fast from Tim Ducknotter. And it is a 3:02. Surely he will hold on to the lead of the overall standings then. Very nice heat race from Tim, finishing the season on a high for sure. And let's get a look at those results. Tim Ducknotter, 3 minutes 2, hugely fast. Sindra Silva, Timo Sarkinen, and Victor Israels. As we're going to check out the overall standings from Heat 2, and they're going to paint a pretty clear picture. It's Tim Ducknotter at the top again by 4 seconds over Sindra Silva, Christian Skorold, Timo Sarkinen, Victor Israels, Nuno Cardozo, and Gerard Fornells, who's been disqualified there. Our 7 drivers in Heat 2. So the grids for Heat 3 have already been set. And let's show you what they are going to look like. We're going to have Victor Israels, Christian Skorold, Nuno Cardozo, and Gerard Fornells in the start of Heat 3. And you can see the race times, the combined race times of the previous 2 heats next to their name. And in that 3-car heat, it's Tim Ducknotter who will take the lead over Sindra and Timu. So that's the top 3 at the moment as we're looking at it. So the first run of Heat 3 is coming up right now. And here we go then. From left to right, we've got Fornells, Cardozo, Skorold, and Israels. And we're green for the start of this one. And very evenly matched over the first jump again, but it's Victor and Christian who take the lead. Cardozo around the outside on Gerard Fornells. But it's a clean getaway for the 2 adders. And already a gap opening up between Victor and Christian through the first chicane. Christian and Fornells into the Joker. Cardozo and Victor stay out. And Fornells has got a lot of work to do if he wants to become relevant in the heats. Otherwise, it's going to be reliant on a win in the B final to promote him to the A final, which is always an uncomfortable position to be in. But out and over the final jump comes Victor Israels with a 1.7 second lead. And over start finish, he's grown that gap by 1/4 of a second to Cardozo. Cardozo slow through the final sector, even slower through the first corner. 1/2 a second more has gone away. So Cardozo could be in trouble from Skorold and Fornells at this point, as Israel stays out. Let's see what Cardozo does. Cardozo's in the Joker, but Christian Skorold and Fornells are coming through. But I think Cardozo, I know he hasn't done enough. He's going to come out behind both of them. So just too slow out of turn 1, and that's cost him all the way down the back straight. And another tag on the back of Fornells. Oh, but Fornells has tapped the apex again. Not a good evening, really, from Gerard Fornells. And again, it's Cardozo who's tripping up with. But Victor Israel's now with a 6-second lead. I don't think we've seen another driver with that big of a lead so far this evening. So once he does the Joker, that'll be down to about 3 seconds. But it will be a victory if he can keep it clean in Heat 3. Watch him through the Joker, up the hill. Oh, just per time to perfection, judged to perfection, and he's out with a lot of clean air over the rest of the field. It's Christian Skorl who leads this second pack in P2, followed by Fornelez and Cardozo then. And Israel's very, very close to the outside wall, using all the road. And across start finish, he comes to win with a bit of a crash. Then it's Skorl, followed by Gerard Fornelez, and Cardozo rounds off race 5 of the evening. 3-minute 3. It's a pretty decent fast lap time from him. But it's not the fastest race time we have seen this evening by any stretch. But there you go. The results confirmed. Victor Israel's, Skorl, Fornelez, and Cardozo. As we move straight on to our next race then. And this is going to be between Tim Ducknodder, Sindre Silva, and Teemu Sarkinen. Let's go. Lights already coming up. And we're green for a 3-car race in the final race of our heats this evening. And it's Sindre Silva into the lead. Sarkinen on the outside, side by side with Tim. Tim has a nose ahead, but they're going to make side-to-side contact, and that's disaster for Sarkinen, who's been forced out wide. And that's going to be so hard to recover from there. Nigh on impossible, in fact, as Sindre Silva has the lead once again over Tim. And it's all about those race times. So Sarkinen already with a lot of work to do. Silva through the Joker. That's an interesting time to do that. Is he going to come out cleanly ahead of Sarkinen? Yes, he is. Sarkinen decided to do the Joker as well. Probably just as well, really, because Silva could have ended up fighting with him instead. But now Tim, he's shown us all what he can do. How much of a gap can he open up in the next 2 laps here? Over the first jump on the brakes before he even went into the jump. Super, super tight at the apex. 2.5 second gap to Sindre Silva. Not enough if he wants to take the lead in this race. The gap comes down again after the first sector line. Our champion is laser focused on this one. Oh, jumps off the apex of the chicane. Ducknodder stays out. But Sindre Silva can see his target. He knows exactly what he's aiming for. As Tim opens the gap up slightly by 2.5 tenths. So, Tim definitely strong in the first half of the lap compared to Silva on that occasion. As you see, the track kind of weaves through the trees here and then out towards the final jump. And the gap's gone up again. So Tim really is pushing as hard as he can as we continue to ride on board with Silva. Has Tim done enough? Another 10th taken away from Tim over the final straight. Going to be close, this one. We know that Tim is strong in this first sector, but let's see. Has he done enough? You can see his car disappearing there into the distance, but that Joker is probably one of the longest this season. And that's a much cleaner chicane from Sindre Silva. As into the Joker goes Tim Ducknodder. And I think Silva is going to be clean ahead, is he? Yeah, he's ahead. It was close, but not close enough. Now, what can Tim do? He needs to find something here. Is there an overtaking opportunity before the end of the lap? It's pretty much single file and wide at the apex there. This is going to be Sindre Silva's. Oh, he's actually hit the wall. Making it very difficult for himself, but now he gets a good exit. And that will be all she wrote for the heats. It's going to be tight to see who's got the overall lead into the final, but I think Tim will have done enough with his race time. Yes, he will. A 3:02.33. It puts them close, but I think that puts Tim ahead of Sindre going into the A final. As confirmation on your screen, a 3:02.33, an incredibly fast heat race yet again, and only 7 tenths behind for Ducknodder. So both of them around the same race time on average, with Sarkinen in P3 managed to gain a little bit back out of that, but again just not the fastest of the heat races that we've seen from him this evening either. So race control are going to set up the finals. The finals are going to be 4 laps, and we have grids for that for you now. So apologies for the slight pause. We can now bring you the finals grids. There we go. So the B final will be contested between Nuno Cardoso and Gerard Fornelés. And the winner of those two will join the 5 A finalists. And here we go for the B final, contested between Gerard Fornelés on his own, apparently, as Nuno Cardoso rejoins there. So let's get going for the 7th race of the evening, and it's 2 cars that are going to duke it out for the final place in the A final. It seems unfair that we're going to lose 1 car, but that's the way this works. And they're side by side as close as can be. Still side by side, but it's Sufor, Gerard Fornelés taking the lead from Nuno Cardoso. As into the Joker goes Gerard, and leaves Cardoso to feel his way around this track without any sort of carrot to chase. But Fornelés, well, he can see his target. And his target is disappearing into the distance. 3.5 second gap already. That is that's quite a gap that Cardoso has at this stage. And over start finish, that gap has gone up again. Oh, as the rear end of Gerard Fornelés' car bounces in the air on landing. Not the fastest way around. You want to have a controlled, smooth landing so that you can get the traction down on the surface. As through the first chicane comes Cardoso, and the gap's gone up again, so he's doing well here. And he won't have to take the Joker again this lap. He can do it next lap if he wants. As Gerard Fornelés now has a lot of work to do. Super wide, super sideways, but manages to get the car back at the end to get a late apex. But it's super close between these two. Nothing has really changed in the last lap in terms of the gap. There they are. And a cross start finish to start the final lap. Let's see what the gap is between the two of them. Oh, and a hard landing again for Cardoso. The gap down below 3.5 seconds, but that is close. These guys are going to be side by side after Cardoso does this Joker. Fastest lap to Fornelés for now. But Cardoso has been pretty consistent so far in this race. And this could be his best shot at getting into that A final. And it's a good line through the Joker, but where is Fornelés? Fornelés is out ahead. So he's done it. It was close, but not close enough in the end. 2-4 Looks like he's going to get that place. But he's made plenty of mistakes, and especially at the final corner. Both these drivers have made mistakes this evening. But around the final bend, and it looks good for Gerard Fornelez as he comes over the big jump there. And he will take the final place in that A final. If he can complete one more lap. Through the first chicane they come. And it's clean as a whistle for Gerard Fornelez. And Cardozo starting to realise that his chances are going away unless he can find something, but it's just not going to be. Bounces off the wall. We'll lose even more time. And let's see if Gerard Fornelez can keep it clean. Just 2 corners to go. And it looks good. Wide out of the final corner, but that's not a problem. He's got enough time to play with as he comes over the final jump for the final time in this race to win. And there we go then. 4 minutes 9 to complete the 4-lap B final. And that means then that it is Fornelez who is promoted to the A final there, alongside Tim Dicknotter, who had the best 2 race times. He leads in the A final, good effort, followed by our champion Sindra Silva, Victor Israels, Timo Sarkinen, Christian Skorreld, and there's Gerard, the B final winner, at the bottom. But we say goodbye to Nuno Cardozo, who's been a good sport all season long. Thank you very much to him for competing every round, and we hope to see him again next season. But here we go then. Here's the big one, the A final. Silva and Dicknotter on the front row, Sarkinen and Israels, and then Sufor alongside Skorreld. Let's go. We are green, and it's not a good start from Tim Dicknotter. Sindra Silva's already got the jump on him, so that advantage immediately thrown away. And on the inside, oh, it's a lot of rubbing, a lot of side-by-side action. Fornelez around. That's going to be tricky. As there we go. Tim forced out of the way, and Sindra Silva is back in the lead. And Tim, it could be caught here by Israels. There's a 3-wide between Sarkinen, Israels, and Skorreld, but Sarkinen somehow finds his way through into 3rd place as 2 cars into the Joker. It's Tim and Christian, and Silva leads then, with Tim Dicknotter coming up behind it. Oh, Sufor, why has he done the Joker so early? He's going to get so held up by all this traffic now, and already starting to feel the effects of going into the Joker on the first lap with cars who didn't do the Joker. He's got tripped up behind Sufor. Maybe he wasn't expecting to come up behind anybody, but I don't know why he wouldn't. As a cross-start finish comes Silva with a 4.65 gap over Tim. That's a disastrous decision, really, from Tim to come in so early. But, you know, maybe he'd forced himself into it. Silva leads. Sarkinen 2nd. Israel's 3rd. Fornelez finds himself in 4th. With the 2 drivers behind him who've done the Joker, it's Dicknotter and Skorreld. And now into the Joker goes Sindra Silva, and you're going to see that Tim Dicknotter is nowhere. He's got so much work to do. He had the lead going into the A final, but Sindra Silva had a better start to the race. Tim went into the Joker on the first lap, got held up behind Gerard Fornelez, and that's the result. We've got almost a 2-second gap now between Silva and Dicknotter. In fact, it's more than that. It's almost 3 seconds. As we come across start finish, we'll get an update on the time. Yeah, it's 3.5 seconds. The gap between, 2 seconds. The gap between Silva and Dicknotter. That's a lot of time to make up in 2 laps. As Sarkinen leads, followed by Israels, but both of them are going to get jumped by Silva, surely. Silva 2 seconds off the lead of this race, and he's already done a joker. Impressive pace in the final race of the evening as Israels goes into the joker. Nodder will get past him, but it's going to be close between Scorold. In fact, it's not going to be close between Scorold and Israels. Israels gets out ahead and has the fastest lap. So leading this race at the moment somewhat artificially is Teemu Sarkinen, followed by Silva, Nodder, Israels, Scorold, and Gerard Fornelez. Way off the pace at the back, just not at the caliber of the rest of the drivers in this A final. But he did have a bit of bad luck in the first couple of corners with a bit of a shove. But let's see, what can Tim do? Can Tim deny Silva a clean sweep? He's won every single A final so far this year, has Sindre Silva, and it looks like he's going to make it 5 out of 5. Just a few corners to go before we find out. Has to keep it clean. He's made a couple of small errors tonight, but nothing too major. But he did not have the advantage going into this race. And there we are. There's P1 and P2 in the championship. Teemu Sarkinen through the joker comes out in 3rd place. So good recovery. There he is, just leading Victor Israels through the final sweepers. And over the final jump comes your champion, and 5 out of 5 for Sindre Silva. What can anyone else do? Well, Tim had the best chance today at taking over the or stopping that record from happening, but it didn't happen in the end. Sindre Silva, champion-elect. And he decides to do some donuts on the grass to celebrate, and why not? Dominant victory in the end. And there it is confirmed for you. Sindre Silva in 4 minutes 2. So much faster than the B final. Tim Nodder there, less than a second behind in the end, but just not enough to deny Silva 5 A final wins this season out of 5. Sarkinen in 3rd, Israel's 4th, Scorold 5th, and Gerard Fornelez not finishing in the end, but classified in 6th place. So a much shorter event this evening, but I think we can have a chat now with our champion and winner. 5 out of 5, 100%, clean streak, clean all the way through, and I don't really know what other kind of things to say there, Sindre. Congratulations, another almost flawless round.
Yeah, I had no chance this event. I was so lucky with what happened with Tim in the Joker. I think it was something happening there because he fell off so quickly. But no, I really need to say huge congrats to Tim for improving so much in pace over this week. He has put down so much effort for this round, and it's a little bit sad that I that I was so lucky and got the win anyways, but I was no near his pace for this event. So big up to Tim, and yeah, flawless season, 100 points. It's pretty nice to look at.
Yeah, I tell you what's not good to look at the moment. It's the podium on which you are due. So why don't you go and drive over there, and we'll wait for you to do that. But yeah, 100 points out of 100 possible points. Yeah, that is dominance, to say the least. Tim, I'm sure he'll be happy in the end to have dispatched with a lot of very talented drivers, as we can see you now making your way to the podium. We expect to see Teemu Sarkinen up there as well. But yeah. There you go. You've taken your place, and a nice podium it is as well. I think this is your second trip to this venue, isn't it? This track, you quite like it.
Yeah, I think we've been here before. Doing some. I think it was the RX3. I think we drove here. I'm familiar with the track, but since I got the championship already last round, I didn't focus on the round, and I've been rushing home to even attend this round. So no setups, no practice, no nothing. So it was it was weird round, but it was fun.
Well, congratulations again, and I want to get your thoughts really on the championship as a whole. Then, I mean, obviously you dominated it, but I think Tim especially threw everything in the kitchen sink to try and beat you, especially tonight. And well, yeah, just give us your thoughts.
It's been a fun championship, thanks to Tim and all the guys putting it together. It's been a little bit sad that it was so few attending this round, but it is what it is, and we're looking forward to the next championship. I will not put the number one on my car. I will never do that. 63 is always in my heart, so Tim can get it if he wants, if that's something he wants to use. But no, thanks for you guys for broadcasting this season, and thanks to everyone in my team for putting down the hours that they needed. Especially Victor doing a pretty good job throughout this season. He's not that all of a guy, so he's pretty quick for age. And thanks to Christian for jumping in at the end here and also supporting.
Yeah, it's nice to see a lot of your guys out driving, especially a new face to the championship tonight, Christian Scroll. So that's nice to see. Tim won't be allowed to take the number one because only you're eligible to have it. So I like to see a number one in a championship. You know, I like to see that one. So I know the 63 is close to your heart, but you earned it.
I could have used it today though,
I
because
don't know
now
because it's still the championship. You're winning championship. I don't know if you're allowed to change number mid-season, but certainly for next season you'll be allowed to use it.
yeah, but that championship I haven't won yet, so I'm not the winner there, if you know what I mean. So it's something in my head there. 63 is always going to be on the car. So
Okay, there you go.
I'm sorry for that.
No, it's all right. No worries. As we have a change of the guard slightly here now, because this is the championship podium that you can see there, and it is your teammate who's gone up into the second place position there.
Yeah, that was our main goal for this event today. Was to get Victor that P2 spot because we knew the Swedes weren't gonna show up. So yeah, I think they're still crying somewhere else. But yeah, it was. I'm glad that Victor got this P2. He earns it, and he's been really fast throughout the whole season. So um, it's pretty amazing to see it. And congrats also to Tim for getting the P3. I know he really wanted to be on the podium for this season. So yeah.
Yeah, well, congrats to you two. I mean, P1 and P2 in the championship is a great effort. So congrats there to Victor Israels there in P2 and Tim P3 in the end this year. But yeah, he won't be too disappointed with that. It was a good season. He did well, and the competition, I have to say, I think it was higher even this year than last year. So yeah, great effort from everybody involved. Well done, Sindra. I think we'll let you go now. But any parting words before we move on?
I want to thank my team for helping out, always having a fun Sunday night before bedtime and work on Mondays. So it's fantastic to see so many drivers been through our Discord and stuff like that. Thanks to the broadcast studio with you guys, and also thanks to Kim and the MRC community for bringing up this championship, and thanks to all my ERL sponsors for supporting me in the real ERL life. Not so much in the sim, but they get their logo on the car even in sim, so it's fantastic.
Yeah, they get their airtime. So always thank the sponsors. Thanks, Sindra. Congratulations, and hopefully we'll see you next time.
We will.
Ciao. Let's have a word with Tim. Third place overall this season, Tim. But you've got to be happy with how tonight went. That was super close in the end. You had the lead going into the A final, but it just didn't work out.
Yeah, I'm not too happy with how the A final went down. I could have used a spotter to help me tonight.
Yeah, well, and yeah, sometimes that's the way it goes. But never mind. It was fun from watching it from the commentary position, and yeah, I mean, you had the best chance of anyone all season to try and beat Syndra in a final. You got the closest that anyone's managed to, so there's always that.
Yeah, I'm just a bit disappointed it didn't work out. I did over 30 hours of practice this week, so it's sad it didn't come to fruition like how I wanted to.
Well, you can work on it, and this is progress in the right direction. You got super close, so don't be too disheartened. Also, you can be Glad that the championship is over and it went pretty well. I think that was a great return to form, and season 4 is in the books. So congrats again.
Thank you. Yeah, I will let the people know when season 5 should be starting. I'll be taking a break during the summer, and after summer I will announce when the new season is taking place.
Well, fantastic. We look forward to that. Could it be later this year or potentially in 2026?
It's most likely 2026.
Fair enough. That makes sense. So yeah, we'll hopefully see you there for that. So yeah, thanks, Tim. I mean, if there's anything you want to say now, then say it. But otherwise, we'll move on.
I just want to thank all the guys at Sim Broadcast and NDR for their help the past season. Also my teammates at MRC who supported me the entire championship, and hopefully I can come back better next year.
Well, thanks very much, Tim. You've been the heart and soul of this championship, so well done for another successful season, and we'll see you next time. Tim Litton there, the season promoter, and just missing out tonight on P2 overall in the championship to Victor Israels, who we have to give a congratulations to for pipping him in the end. 2 Syndra Silver Motorsports cars on that overall podium, so a great effort for their team. And that brings to a close 5 rounds of racing in the MRc Rallycross Championship Season 4 in 2025. We hope you enjoyed it, and as you heard from Tim, it will be back, if not at the end of the year, then in 2026 by the sounds of it. That is not all, of course, from Master Race Car. We have a big announcement, of course, that their new season of E-Challenge is coming your way on Sunday the 9th of February at 5:45 UTC. That's when the broadcast starts. The racing action and the preparations for the drivers starts way earlier than that. So if you want to get involved, you can go and check that out on the Live for Speed forum. Sign-ups are open and you have all week to get yourself into that championship. It's been very, very popular so far in the sign-ups, which is great to see. We want to have packed grids for this because a lot of effort goes on behind the scenes. The racing is spectacular because of all the real-life features that we bring to this race. We've got the attack boost, we've got the qualifying duels, we've got 2 races with different formats and 2 different cars this year as well. So please go and check that out on the Live for Speed forum. It's bound to be a good one once again. And if you can't wait that long for some rally or some racing action in Live for Speed, then you don't have to wait very long, because tomorrow night we're going to be doing pretty much the same thing all over again, but for Zaffaralis, the all-rounder championship, a new format this year where each of the dirt rounds is going to be a rallycross round consisting of 3 heats and a final once again, but there'll be more drivers involved in the finals, so that makes it a little bit different to the way that tonight's action has worked. But if you want to see more rally action, or if you want to be involved in more rally action, then check out the Zaffaralis All-Rounder Championship Round 2 tomorrow night at 10 to 7 UTC live on Sim Broadcasts. Then immediately following that on Tuesday, we've got Rocking International Long for Round 3 of the 2025 Season 1 of Aroni's Tuesday Fun Race with the FXO. And that's going to be a good one. That is going to be a tyre muncher for half an hour. That'll be at 7 o'clock UTC. We hope to see you for that. That's all the announcements I've got, so thank you again to Tim and to the rest of the MRC team and to New Dimension Racing for making the Rallycross Championship possible. We hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you all next time. From all of us here at Sim Broadcast, to all of you, have a great rest of your weekend. Good night.